Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for Altenew as I am part of today's blog hub as Altenew is releasing a new set of washi tapes and also embossing paste. And I'm always so excited when Altenew sends me an invitation to join in the blog hubs because that means I get to work with their goodies. Now this time around they were generous and sent me the entire set of washi tapes along with embossing paste. And the washi tapes are so easy to work with, but I was very excited about the embossing paste. If you've seen my work, then you guys know that I love mixed media. So the first thing I want to do is use some of this embossing paste to create a few projects. So I'm gonna use quite a bit of it, and I'm gonna put it on my acrylic sheet, and I'm bringing a little bit of the metallic sprays. This one is Lagoon from Altenew, and you're gonna see that my idea is to create kind of an ombre effect in the middle of this for this layout. And I'm using Bicky Booting foundation paper for my base. It's a thick cardstock, and I'm gonna use this stencil. It's called watercolor stripes. So my idea is to create an ombre effect right in the center of the page. For that, I'm gonna start with mixing just a little bit of the ink into the paste, and then I'm gonna apply it in one single direction on top of the stencil. And I'm gonna say from the top to the bottom. Along the way, I'm gonna start introducing more ink so that I create that gradation in color. And then you're gonna see that at the same time, I am actually playing with the stencil so that I can create the stripes on top of my page. I'm okay with there's a little bit of texture or some leakage. I want it to look like, it actually looks like watercolor stripes, but I really love the way this turned out. And you're gonna see, like I said, super simple. Now the key to working with this embossing paste is it's beautiful to work with. It's very creamy, it's very fluffy, it's very white. It actually has a little bit of a sheen to it, but the key is to set it aside to dry completely. That's gonna take a little bit longer than your regular modeling paste. It actually dries a little bit slower, and I think it has to do with the consistency of it, but it's lovely to work with. Honestly, love, love, love. And you get actually quite a bit of paste in that little container. So I'm gonna set it aside to dry. I'm gonna say it took over maybe 2 or 3 hours to dry completely. And because I set it aside to dry completely, it didn't warp my paper. It actually laid straight, and you're gonna see when I come back to it later on that it's completely straight. Now, as you see on my little mat, I still have some of the paste left over. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it all together, and then I'm gonna have this kind of a teal. I'm gonna bring a little bit more paste, just to lighten a little bit, and I'm gonna use it to create another project. So what I'm gonna do with this little paper that I'm using is mixed media paper from Bicky Booten. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this new stencil. This is called, I think it's called Square Grid. It's also from Altenew. So you saw that I brought a little bit of the paste just to lighten a little bit more. And all I'm gonna do is with my palette knife, I'm gonna apply the paste just to cover the stencil. The stencil measures 6 by 6. So I'm gonna have a piece of paper with the impression, a 6 by 6 piece of paper. And what I'm gonna do with that is I'm actually gonna create two cards. So you're gonna see again, I'm going one single direction from top to bottom, applying my my paste, sorry. And then once I'm done, I'm gonna set aside to dry. Now, when you're working with this, make sure you clean up your stencils and your knife right away. You see that I have some water, but I'm cleaning my stencils at the same time just because I don't want the paste to harden on this stencil. Now, for my last project, it's going to be part of my TN layout. I am actually going to use a stencil brush and the flowing butterfly stencil from Altenew. And I'm using the stencil brush because I don't have that much paste left over, and I want a very thin application. So all I'm doing is I'm picking up some of the paste with my brush, and then I'm going on a circular motion on top of the butterflies. And then I am kind of adding, stippling some of the paste on top of the stencil. It's gonna give me a little bit of a bumping texture, sorry, on my little piece of craft. And I love how this looked out. You don't need that much just to add colors. Kind of think just adding, like when you're inking a piece of paper, pretty much the same effect with this brush. And I'm gonna set it aside to dry. This took quite short time to dry because there's not that much texture, so it's really kind of an impression. And I really love the way the teal plays with the craft. So I'm gonna start creating the insert. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue it straight into a piece of white cardstock that I have, and that's gonna pretty much cover my entire page. Now that I'm gonna add my title, and for that I'm using the Beautiful Blossoms stamp set, and it says there's something that says "Don't stop. Failure is not an option." And this is gonna be all about my daughter. She is in grade 11 here in Canada. So but because the classes that she's taking, she's in an advanced class, so she actually has to apply to university in a couple months. So she needs to study a lot. So once I've embossed that little sentiment with white powder, I'm gonna add that little thin washi tape from Altenew that just came, is one of the ones released, just to create a little trim under the craft. And then I'm gonna glue the picture, and I'm just gonna add a few stickers, some sentiments, just to kind of combine the idea that she's doing work. This is just a regular picture in my household. So I'm just adding a few stickers and a few gold hearts just to complete my visual triangle, just to frame the picture. Now to add my lines of journal for this, I'm using, if you see on the other side of this layout, I'm using a 3x8 insert. So all I did is I went onto my computer and printed my lines of journal. And then I'm using another one of the sentiments from the same stamp set. This is the Beautiful Blossom stamp set. And teal ink, just to match the color that I have on the butterflies. And I'm going to add a little gold heart, just because I said I'm thinking of visual triangle things that are repeated on the layout. And then since I have a butterflies, I'm going to bring one of the acetate butterflies from the Altenew collection, just to add at the bottom. I left the space there for that. And that's about it. Super simple. I love the texture that I have from the texture paste, in this case on the embossing paste. I love the color combination. And this was super simple to create, especially because I used a different technique to add the embossing paste. And you can see a little bit of the texture on the layout. And we're gonna come back and I'm gonna start working on the card. Now remember the piece of 6x6 paper that I filled with the stencil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna just take out that piece, and like I said before, I'm gonna create two cards with this. So all I'm doing is just gonna trim it. And my first thought is I'm gonna cut some hearts out of it. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna use the half-tone hearts. I actually have the die set, and I'm gonna create a few hearts. I still don't know exactly what idea I have for the cards. I just know that I might want to stack them. So I'm gonna just put it through my die cutting machine. I have to put it. You're gonna see that I I ran it twice through my die cutting machine, just to make sure that the die cut through the paste and the cardstock. And this cardstock is pretty thick. So to build my not my layout, my card in this case, I'm gonna go pretty simple, and I'm gonna use the big gold washi tape that is released today. I can't remember what the name. I'm really bad with names. Sorry. But I love the washi tape, and I'm gonna use that as part of my background. You're gonna see that I'm gonna glue the strip of washi tape straight onto my card. And then what I'm doing right now, before at the top part of my card, I'm gonna go on a horizontal card. But before I glue my heart, I am actually gonna emboss with gold a sentiment, and this sentiment comes from I can't remember what, the Frilly Blooms stamp set. And it just says just smile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some of the hearts. I'm gonna go from big to small. I'm just gonna stack them kind of in a row at the bottom of where I put my washi tape. I'm gonna use three because I think three is the magic number. And once I have them in place, I'm just gonna add a few sequins. I play with a few sequins. I play with blue and some gold, but I thought that clear is just it's all that I need. I already have the lines from the washi tape and the gold in the embossing and embossing in the sentiment, so I don't need more. I'm just gonna bring a few of the see-through translucent sequins, different sizes, around the hearts, just to kind of create some movement. And that's about it. Super simple. You're gonna see the close-ups coming up. I love how this turned out. Super simple. Like I said, the key here is to make sure that the paste dries completely, and then it's super simple to the card. It's pretty much what I would call a clean and simple card, and it takes no time to put together once you have it ready. Now, remember that I have quite a piece left from that stencil piece of cardstock that I created. So for the next one, I'm gonna create another card, but this time around, I'm gonna use the piece of or the stencil piece in this case as my background. So I'm cutting a rectangular piece to fit at the top of my card, and then I'm thinking that I need to bring something that is just gonna be very bold to contrast that. So I went ahead out of camera and stamped with black ink one of the wallpaper art, flowers. and also the leaves, all using black ink. Again, I am gonna glue straight my little background onto my card. You're gonna see that I cut a little bit of a diagonal line at the bottom of the, I'm just gonna create a little bit of movement to the card. And then I'm gonna bring a little bit of the thin gold washi tape just to create kind of a trim at the bottom of the piece that I just added. And then I am gonna literally gonna glue the flower. I stamped 2 sets of leaves just because I knew I wanted to add some movement to it. I'm gonna pop, you're gonna see that first I'm gonna layer my leaves. Once I'm happy with what they said, I'm gonna actually add a piece of double-sided tape that's gonna hold it together. And then I'm gonna add some foam adhesive to attach the flower on top of the leaves. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of pieces of foam behind the leaves just to create that movement. Now for my sentiment, I embossed with gold powder what the sentiment from the hand-picked bouquet stamp set that says "Hello, dearest friend," and then I cut it in a little piece. I stamped, or I embossed the sentiment in a little piece of cardstock, and then just trimmed it to form a little rectangle. And then I'm gonna glue it right at the bottom, like I said, in the little hole that the leaves create. And then I'm just gonna add some sequin because I think I need to bring the shine to this page. Again, I'm going for translucent sequin, and that's about it. Super simple. Like I said, the key here is to create the background, and then a simple flower that's gonna take. You're gonna see that the background works nicely with the flower. It contrasts nicely, and it brings the attention to both without competing. Love how this turned out. I love the color combination, having that light teal with the black and white flower. And that's about it for my card. So now we're gonna go back into working on the layout. Now, like I said, the key here was to set it aside to dry completely, and I set it aside to dry completely. So you're gonna see that my paper didn't warp at all. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually stick the washi tape. This is the big washi tape, and also the one that comes with those teal flowers, onto vellum. And my choice of working with vellum, I like working with cardstock when I'm using washi tape, but I like working with vellum because it gives it that translucency. The washi tape as it is really delicate and super simple to not super simple, sorry, but it's nice to fussy cut, especially when it has images like this. But I think when you add it to in this case vellum, it just gives it that, continues give you that softness that you have on the washi tape. Most washi tapes have like a little bit of a translucency to them, so you can see through them. So I think when you add it to vellum, you continue or you keep that property of the washi tape. And once I have like all glued, I'm gonna fussy cut all of this. Now, even though I cut the white flowers, I use the thick paper washi tape on my vellum, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna go for a monochromatic look for this layer. And this picture here is actually of 2 of my friends. These are my crafty friends. They also happen to be my bosses. That's Vicky Butin and Nicole Novosa. And we attended a crop and create here in Toronto a couple of weeks ago. And I had this is probably the only good picture that I have of that day. So I'm gonna scrap it because I love these ladies. So all I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna go for a monochromatic look. So first thing I did is I'm gonna flip the paper. Remember how I started with the light color paste going to the dark teal? I'm gonna flip it just because I want to keep my title at the bottom in the lightest part of the layer. So all I did is I added a piece of the Bird and Walk 6x6 papers to the picture, just as a layer, and a piece of vellum. And all I'm doing right now is just playing with all the fussy cut flowers from that teal washi tape. And I cut quite a bit of them. Just I'm gonna play around just to create these 2 large clusters on my picture. You're gonna see that this is pretty much gonna be all the embellishment that it's gonna need. Once I have the idea of what it's gonna look at the top, it's framing my picture nicely, I'm gonna go ahead and create another big cluster. I'm thinking a diagonal design at the bottom right corner of my layout. And that's where my title is gonna be. Now I took it off camera and I just added foam adhesive to some of the pieces, glue some of them in place, and I didn't want to bore you with that. So once I have all set down, I'm bringing some decorations from the Live Your Dream collection. And I've went and picked all the pieces that had teal or that la minty color, and I found this chipboard heart and the word fun day. They all have the same color. So I pulled a sticker. This is a black citrus sticker from my stash, And I'm just gonna add a line of sentiment at the bottom, something that I didn't want, something that was gonna clash. I wanted something really that was gonna mesh with the picture. I didn't want it to stand out. And then for my title, I'm gonna post, sorry, a piece from the ephemera pack from the Live Your Dream collection, and I'm gonna prop it with a little bit of foam adhesive just to give it a lift. And then to finish this layer, I'm gonna add quite a bit of enamel dots, and I'm using the Altenew ones, another ones from my stash too. Just gonna I wanted to bring a little bit of black and different tones of the teal. And then I'm gonna add a few lines of journal at the bottom of my layout. And just to finish this, because I want to bring a little bit of a shine, I'm gonna add a little, not a little, a few drops of gold ink, and that's about it. Super simple. I love how this turned out. Actually, I loved it when I came out with it, and I couldn't wait to share with all of you guys. And again, check my blog to join in the blog club. There's a lot of prizes being given away, but if you have a chance, pick up some of the washi tips, but pick up the embossing paste. It's lovely to work with. I think you're gonna love it. And if you have any questions about how any of these projects came together, do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to help you. And remember to stop by Altenew just to leave a few comments along the way, also in the blog hub. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.